Welcome back, Amiibros, to Donkey Kong Country. In the last episode, we slid down Gorilla Glacier and arrived in KremKrock Industries. In this episode, we'll be finishing up the latter half of said world before heading into the final world of the game, Chimp Caverns. But until then, we've got a level to finish in the form of elevator antics. Bet you can't guess what the gimmick of this level is. That is something I do appreciate in platformers, when the levels have, actual names to them and aren't just called, level 8-3, level 5-1. It makes the world within the game a lot more distinct, and it gives locations a bit more identity. Like, KremKrock Industries, like the world that hosts all these levels, is such a fascinating insight into how the Kremlings function compared to the Kongs. As you saw in last episode, the first level we went to, it was a factory level, whereas, the previous worlds, they at least had something natural to them, something organic. Like, the first level we start out with in Congo Jungle is Jungle Japes, and all the greenery, the foliage, and then you go into KremKrock Industries, and everything's like all industrial, metal, and there's oil and all this technology lying around. For me, that's why I think KremKrock Industries is just so damn fascinating. One level we're going to be seeing after Elevator Antics, Poison Pond. That right there just shows how bad the Kremlings just fuck up the environment. I know it's a big old environmental message, and, frankly, people don't want to hear it, even though our planet's literally dying. Just saying. But I just think it's really cool. It gives the enemies that you jump over and, beat a lot more of an identity. It makes them feel more real, rather than just, an obstacle you have to jump over. And speaking of jumping over, I completely missed that platform. One interesting thing is, right near that red zinger, despite the way it seems, you can stand on that platform and just wait for the elevator to come meet you. It's not so much a leap of faith, despite it looking so. See, right next to that red zinger, you could stand next to it and not get hit. That is if you're playing as Diddy. If you're playing as Donkey Kong, I'm not so sure. But, I wasn't in the mood to test out that theory, because Elevator Antics gave me the bitchiest time as I was playing it and recording. Like, you'll see when we enter Poison Pond that my live count went from like 50 to 44. Yeah, I died a lot in Elevator Antics. But we're done with it. Let's head into Poison Pond, head to the left, pick up on guard, and we're on our way. Poison Pond is actually the longest water level in the game, and I'm going to say this right now. Take your time with Poison Pond, because if there's one thing I dislike about this level, is that all the fishes come out to play, or all the fishies come out to play, and you really want to hold on to on guard for as long as you can, because he's your only method of dealing with these aquatic creatures, just by poking them with his nose, I suppose. I forget. When it comes to a swordfish, the pointy part, is that their nose? Do swordfish even have noses? I don't know. I don't think they do. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a marine biologist, so yeah. I mean, my degree is in playwriting and screenwriting. It's more in the arts than it is studying marine biology. So, yeah, maybe those of you in the comments can tell me if fish have noses, or better yet, if swordfish have noses, because, again, I don't know. I don't study swordfish. They are my favorite kind of fish, if only because, they're just called swordfish. And they do actually look cool. Ungard is one of the cooler animal buddies. I guess that's why the people over at Rareware wanted him to stick around for all three SNES country games. I don't think he makes an appearance in Returns or Tropical Freeze. If he does, that'd be really cool. Even as a cameo, him and Winky can just show up and say like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Been a while, huh? Good to know we're still your buddies. We'll always have your back. I'm still relevant, damn it!" Sure you are, On Guard. You'll always be relevant to me, you badass swordfish you. You're certainly more relevant than the two animal buddies that were cut from this game, On Guard. And yes, there were supposed to be two more animal buddies, a mole named Miney and an owl named Hooter. It's unclear as to why Miney was cut from DKC1. Maybe because the devs were struggling to find a particular placement for Miney to fit in, because you look at animal buddies like On Guard and how he helps you in underwater levels, or how he helps you control better in underwater levels. Espresso runs really fast, Winky jumps higher than the Kongs, etc., etc. But Hooter is actually a more interesting case. Like Miney, there isn't much evidence to gather as to why Hooter was cut from the game, but people do speculate that the reason is because Hooter is an owl and that it resembles the mascot for a restaurant called Hooters. This is supported by the fact that the name of the animal buddy has text that reads, "Hope we can use this one." Very much like Miney the Mole, I'm curious to know what purpose Hooter the Owl would serve to the overall game. Would it be much like a Squawk scenario where we only see Hooter for one level and that's it? Or would Hooter have the abilities that Squawks has in DKC2 and be able to fly the Kongs around? I mean, that'd be pretty fucking ridiculous, seeing an owl carry around Donkey and Diddy Kong. I mean, I say this, and meanwhile, Donkey Kong's riding a swordfish while swimming in toxic shit. So, hey, why start now with, putting logic into a Donkey Kong Country game, But I always find that stuff rather fascinating whenever a game is being made, and just hearing about characters that didn't make the cut, whether it be a platformer or a fighting game, well, a fighting game specifically. That stuff is always fascinating to learn about, especially with the extra video I did for Devil May Cry plugin, and just seeing all the extra stuff from the game's conception to what the final product was. And to close out today's episode, we're at our last minecart level, Minecart Madness. Unlike the last minecart level, you actually have to hold right on the control pad and move in tandem with the minecart, otherwise the Kongs will fall to their doom, and that'll be that. And somehow, Donkey Kong was able to avoid that necky for at least a second before the game realized, oh wait, no, you're supposed to get hit by this thing. You can't duck in the minecart. You're thinking too far ahead, Donkey Kong, and for that, you will die by this vulture. Or at least, that's what I assume happened anyway. Might have been just a minor glitch. But yeah, and as you can see, I wasn't holding right there, and Diddy fell to his doom. Yeah, when I was playing this game for the first time ever, this minecart level gave me the most shit. Like, I got a game over, and I had to start KremKrock Industries right back from Candy Save Point. It was not a fun time. But thankfully, playing this game in my current age, God, I sound so old fucking just saying that. But thankfully, playing this game and having some experience under my belt, there you go, this minecart level is not that hard. I only died like a total of two times, but that's only because as the game progresses, it gets a lot more challenging. You gotta be at the top of your game, especially if you want to impress Cranky Kong. Although, who am I kidding? No matter what DKC game you're playing, the true challenge is just impressing Cranky Kong and getting validation from him. That's the true challenge of all these games. But after that, we've wrapped up Minecart Madness, and that'll be that for this episode of Donkey Kong Country, me bros. Next time, we'll be heading into Blackout Basement and wrapping up KremKrock Industries. See you guys then.